Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to your weekly dose of newsy infotainment. It's Let's Be Treasonable, coming to you from the luxurious studios of Radio Titans in Los Angeles with your cognitive dissidents on the panel this week. She is a comedian you have seen on Last Comic Standing. She is a mom and a regular Huffington Post contributor. Katie Massa Kennedy, welcome back.
Thank you. It is good to be back.
Great to have you here. And we've got sitting next to her on the panel, comedian, mom, and strong woman extraordinaire who's got a comedy special, I'm Crowning, which is going to be on Amazon in September, Liz Stewart.
Hello. Thank you for having me again.
Welcome back. Always a pleasure. And also, as always, comedian, scholar, and the black voice of reason, Mr. Tymon Shipp.
Power to the people. Is great to be here with these guys. Yeah,
it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, the young Phyllis Dillers. Yes, they are.
And
she sounds more like the count from Sesame Street when she does that.
As for me, I'm Dr. David Robinson, your Vin Scully for the impending apocalypse. And boy, howdy, we have a lot to talk about this week. I knew I was jinxing myself when I sent news stories out on Wednesday. I was saying, whatever else comes up over the next couple days. And boy, howdy, like Thursday and Friday, if this week was a mini series, it ended strong. So we have plenty to talk about. But before we get into that, we are going to check in with our invisible panelist. Joining us through the scientific miracles of telephony and pre-recorded sound, it is five-time Emmy nominee Will Durst with this week's Burst of Durst.
Hey, guys. Will Durst here with a few choice words about America's newest nominee for the Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh. And at the risk of sounding politically incorrect, doesn't the term Justice Brett kind of ring weird? It's like saying Pope Todd, or Sister Mary Cinnamon, or President Donald Trump. Yeah. Kavanaugh is slated to replace the swing vote on the court, Anthony Kennedy. But the only swing he's going to provide will be from the near far right to the really far, far right. You might ask if there's going to be a confirmation fight. You might also ask, is the sky blue? Does the duck have a bill? Are the stones in the pockets of a dead mobster at the bottom of the Hudson River round? The problem is the Democrats can't agree on how to oppose his nomination. They currently have multiple strategies. The first one cites the McConnell rule, which borrows the Kentucky senator's claim that a vacant seat should not be filled during an election year and let the people decide. Of course, Republicans now maintain that a presidential election is totally different than a midterm election, but everybody knows what they really mean is that a Republican nomination is different than a Democratic nomination. There are other plans to fight him based on his perceived opposition to abortion rights, which he claims to have no position on, unlike any other human on the face of the planet. And still others worry that he's Trump's get-out-of-jail-free card, since Kavanaugh is the author of an opinion saying that presidents are way too busy with the affairs of state to attend to something so trifling as a criminal proceeding. And you can imagine Donald Trump heartily agreeing in a tweet sent from his cart on the 6th fairway of a Scottish golf course. But the plan the Democrats are most likely to follow is to fight amongst themselves until they forget what they're fighting about and totally lose focus. Their normal plan of attack. For Let's Be Treasonable, I'm Will Durst. Totally.
Thank you, Will. That sort of brings the room down a little.
Yeah, an ominous warning. I feel dead inside.
Yeah, it is kind of amazing that the news actually got crazier after the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh earlier this week. But since Will was talking about it, and that's how this just amazingly weird week started, let's start with talking about Kavanaugh. And I think Will is right. As we've seen, the Democrats don't seem to have any cohesion. They all know that we need to band together to fight the ongoing slaughter, but they refuse to do it.
Manchin's going to fold. He always does. They need to put, Schumer needs to put a shock collar on that guy, man. We need to get him the hell out. If you're going to be a Democrat, vote like a Democrat, man. I know you're trying to make the hillbillies in Montana, no offense to Montana, but there's 3 of you that live there, so come look for me,
mentions
assholes.
West Virginia, isn't it?
Okay. I thought he was Montana.
No,
No, he's West Virginia.
Yeah,
Damn it.
Montana is...
Can we do that again?
Same place.
Can we take that again?
Montana is... God, I'm blanking on his name, but Trump was just up there campaigning against him.
Right.
Even though he is your
votes with
typical red state Democrat in that respect. But he's had some choice words for Trump. You just don't see it in his voting record. He's like a Democratic Jeff Flake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that the reason why you see those differences of opinion as far as how to go after Kavanaugh is the Democrats, each of them, depending on who their constituents are or what their brand is, attack it from a different angle. Gillibrand is going to go after him on abortion rights, for instance. But the whole going after him on abortion rights, to me, and I donate to Planned Parenthood every month, I'm a big supporter, is that I was listening to NPR. I'm sorry, I don't mean to mention a direct competitor.
No. It's sources should be mentioned.
And he was talking about, someone was talking about the difference between getting your hair on fire about Trump and for doing Trump things, and getting your hair and not getting your hair on fire for about Trump for doing Republican things. Now, nominating I don't say pro-life, I say pro-forced birth.
I just prefer anti-choice myself.
Anti-choice is good too. Is a Republican thing. So I think that Cory Booker's line of attack against Kavanaugh, going after him because of the, his statements before about presidential power, is a better tactic. But then again, I'm a Russiagate enthusiast.
I think he brought Kavanaugh in not to help keep his ass from going to jail, because they said that he wasn't he part of the Clinton thing?
He was on the Ken Starr.
He worked for Ken Starr, and during the Bush administration, he had a turnaround. His possibly literal come to Jesus moment when he said, you really shouldn't indict a sitting president. They just have too much on their plate.
Right, so that's why Trump really wanted him. It had nothing to do with, because he's hoping this guy can save his ass. That's my feeling. I don't think he really, was worried about abortion rights or anything. This guy's looking for someone that can block him getting from, them getting their hands on him, because the way Mueller's going, it seems like he's getting closer and closer, and
But the chess game takes time. And, Katie, I think, as a Russiagate fan, I'm a big fan of the defense that, this president and his campaign staff are under investigation for colluding with Russia, we should not allow him to sit another Supreme Court justice
who could be in a position to make a decision down the road. That's exactly where I think the Democrats should be going. But if you'll notice, a lot of Democrats who are running, you would think they would be bringing up the Russia investigation as part of their pitch to the American people, but they are not. But I also realize that they don't want to, because Trump has so thoroughly poisoned the well, with the witch hunt accusations, that they just want to let the indictments speak for themselves. Because if you notice that whenever the indictments come down, the Republicans are not saying these indictments are wrong.
Yeah, it is a horrible witch hunt, but it seems to be catching a lot of spies.
Well, they will not though. They will not get rid of Mueller. They will not vote to get rid of him either, though.
I don't know.
They don't want him gone, because if
I think they're waiting. They are poisoning the well.
They can poison it, but McConnell knows. The main guy who would really go after to get this done. And if you saw the situation, you're probably going to talk about it, but of the guy that they were doing the questioning, the Congress was, Peter
Strozk.
Yeah, they wanted, they had guys that would give verbatim There is so much coming down the pike with so much information. You can't mess with Mueller right now. He's too close. And they know if you do this, this guy's, this guy's going to cause, it'll cause a big stir.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, aside from just watching Strozk kick ass for
Even that
10
was great.
hours, I mean, holy crap. One of the other big takeaways from that kangaroo court sham hearing was watching the Republicans try and undermine the investigation specifically. It was like, come on, what do you have on us? What do you have? Like, give us your information. Let us know so we can refute it with our bullshit. Give us your
whoever
facts.
the brother was, whoever the black congressman was, who was
it Elijah Cummings?
No. The other guy, he was giving a list. He went down the list. And the guy said, and he was talking to Strozk, and he was saying, so this is such a yes. Okay, no, I don't know about that. Yes, that did happen. Yes, because he was going right down the line of everything that Mueller has done.
Young guy. It was a young
Jeffries?
guy. Yes, I think it was Jeffries.
And he agreed. The guy Strozk sitting there going, yeah, that's true. No, I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Can't say anything about that, but what you just said, yeah. I mean, he was going down the line.
That was a good moment.
Yeah.
That was a really good
moment.
moment.
And they couldn't stop it. And so then there was the black woman who was arguing with the guy behind
Jackson
her.
Lee.
Yeah,
Take your medicine.
Yeah.
Take your medicine.
That was
She's
one of my
great.
favorite sound bites of the week. You need to take your medication.
Medication. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Gomer's such a fucking...
Oh, my God.
Did he say he didn't give a damn? What's up? I don't know.
Trey Gowdy.
Who was that guy?
Guilty. Some guy who's really guilty.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
And also some guy who looks like his face was stapled on by a fairy with elfin magic.
He's like the real life version of Cletus from The Simpsons. But he's been so scared by what's happening in America, done shocked his hair white.
Oh.
He looks like an orc trying to look like a pedophile.
You just made up for that mansion thing in spades.
Thank you. Oh, hey, you know what we were talking about the abortion angle? I agree Russia's stronger, but the American people, a lot of them don't care because they're like, oh yeah, what, he hates the ladies, so who cares if Putin's our president? But the abortion thing, if we can like turn Collins and Murkowski, because they don't want to be in blue states, they don't want to be the Republican who voted for the guy who's going to take away your right to have make your health decisions and the health decisions of your offspring. But I digress. Yes, orc pedophile.
Wait, autonomy over your own body? What century are you living in, Missy?
Right?
Wait, didn't Trump pardon those two jackasses this week from the...
the ranchers in Oregon. Yeah,
he pardoned those guys.
The Clive Owen, the Cloven,
the two.
What are they?
The one
the
that got-
Bundy.
No,
Bundy?
not the Bundys, but the guys who inspired the Bundys.
Yeah,
Oh.
because the other Bundy got shot. They told him don't move. That was about the only thing. But they shot him, killed him. But they pardoned
good.
those guys. They actually pardoned them.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's all the brothers were sitting back going, what the hell?
You got to let the racist militias know that you got their back, so they'll have yours. Because when we're talking about the whole Russia thing, the meeting with Putin is coming up. And during the disastrous press conference with Theresa May the other day, Trump said, "Yeah, I'm definitely going to bring up the election meddling when I meet with Putin." My guess is when he brings it up, it will be in the form of something like, "Vlad, I think they're on to us."
You got to do something.
We'll just have to wait for RT to tell us what transpired. But that meeting really is kind of revealing itself as something akin to like a teen being grounded and their electronics privileges are revoked, and then they sneak out their bedroom window in the dead of night to meet with their paramour. That's kind of what it feels like, isn't it?
There's no...
If only we could take his cell phone away.
Yeah. Well, he's saying that, well, just be me and him. No one will know. And it's like, fucker, we have the CIA. Sorry. There is no secrecy. Your ass has a microscope stuck up your ass.
Yeah, but it'll be a while before that filters down to, us, we civilians, we the people.